President Trump are making our society a society of extreme inequality. And history teaches us, if it teaches us anything, that in the long run, as masses of people understand the inequality imposed on them and what it costs them in careers they can't have, in jobs they can't get, in income they can't enjoy, in promotions denied to them, as it becomes clear that that's what an unequal society produces, they will not tolerate it. And then the bad news comes as the people at the top realize that the long-term payoff to taking more than a fair share is you lose it all. It's happened over and over again. And to those who think it can't happen here, watch. It is happening here. I want to talk to you today about the big, beautiful bill that's actually quite ugly. The one just passed by the Senate and on its way, as I'm making this recording, back to the House for a reconciliation, as they call it. So it's now time to do that because the vast majority of what's going to be in the bill is in it now, whatever little tweaks they make before it's finalized. We are a country of 330 million, so I am talking about 165 million Americans, half our people. Together, the bottom half have today 2.5% of the wealth in this country. That's what they own. 50% of the people have to get along by sharing 2.5% of the wealth. Try to get your head around that, and you will understand what it means when people tell you that half of Americans are poor, because that's the truth. Not the make-believe, not the fakery, the truth. Now let's take the next 40% of the people. They're richer, they have more than the bottom half, but less than the top 10%. That leaves the remaining amount. 2/3 of the income of this country is in the hands of the top 10% of our people. That is extremely unequal. You could never dream of a democracy, one person, one vote, if you take 90% of the people and tell them you live on 1/3 of the income we all together produce. That will make the 10% rich and the rest of us spectators as to how rich they are. Now, please keep that in your mind when I tell you that the only significant economic act that was passed by and through President Trump's first presidential term was the tax cut of 2017. It gave an enormous tax cut to corporations and the rich, precisely the people who needed it least. They didn't need it, but Mr. Trump gave it to them anyway. And that's the secret to why we have a second Mr. Trump presidency, because they were so happy with what he did for them that they brought him back for another term, and he just delivered the same tax cut to them again. He extended the one from 2017, and he added a bunch of extra goodies for them. This will make inequality worse, just like his first tax cut for them did. Because we need to go back to really make America great again, would mean to make it as less unequal as it once was, not more unequal as it now is. But Mr. Trump won't tell you that because he's, as you might have noticed, among the people at the top. Not to you necessarily. And I want to deal with something that other treatments of all of this haggling and horse trading and what passes for politics and is really just a variety of corruption in which the White House buys off whatever senator needs to be bought off with whatever little trinket, so they vote for a bill that is horrible for the people of the United States. So let me begin with that. What's the problem here that others aren't talking about? Very simple. The single most important problem of the American economy that everyone really knows is the fact that we are now one of the most unequal economies in the world. At the end of World War II, the United States was remarkable because it was less unequal than, for example, countries in Western Europe. Now we are more unequal than the countries in Western Europe. We have really raced to the fore to be as unequal as we possibly could. Over the last 40 years, to be crystal clear, we have had a redistribution of wealth in the United States. Not the one that Republicans and Democrats worry we might have and have to avoid. No, I'm not talking about that fantastic one which never happened. I'm talking about the real one that happened that we don't discuss, although we should, which is a redistribution upward, taking from the bottom, taking from the middle, and giving it to the richest people among us.